Experience Pros Radio Show, the most positive business talk show in America. Best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business and founders of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, are inspiring you to get your business right. They know the customer experience isn't just another thing, it's the only thing. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello and welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer. Very nice to have you along with us today. We are empowering you to build your brand right here on the radio. How do you do to you?
I am doing fantastic.
Yeah,
I am.
Good weekend, all that?
Oh, you betcha. You betcha.
Nice.
I tackled the Sanford and Sons basement.
The Sanford and Sons basement?
Yeah. So we have lived in our house for almost 20 years, about 18, 19 years now. And for all of that time, been pretty good about keeping organized and keeping the basement all cleaned up. And, we don't have a lot of stuff. But a year ago, my daughter moved back home from college where she had her own apartment. And so we moved her back home about a week before Christmas.
Yeah.
So, the holidays and there's all this stuff going on. And
boxes.
And so we just put her stuff in the basement, just in the middle of the room.
Out of sight.
Out of mind. In the basement. The holidays came. Then January came. We were going to get it organized and kind of stack it up all nicely. But we didn't. And then she was leaving for Orlando. She was going to the Disney College program.
All right. Yep.
So away she went and left her stuff in the middle of my basement. All good, right? No big deal. No big deal.
She's coming back.
Right? She's coming back.
Sure.
You ever notice when you start a pile, it attracts more stuff? When you just put stuff on the counter, then more stuff wants to come.
I think that's what we call my life.
Right? It starts attracting.
Yeah.
So we got this pile in the basement, not a big deal. We had to replace some appliances in our kitchen. Old appliances go down to the basement, kind of next to the pile of...
Next to?
Next to.
Uh-huh.
Then, we'd done a little bit of clean out of the, different rooms. And so stuff that needs to be donated or gotten rid of, it goes down into the basement next to. Do you remember when we thought we were going to be expanding the Experience Pros offices?
Oh, sure.
And so we acquired the cubicles.
Yeah, we got a cubicle farm of about 20 cubicles, I believe.
Well, where they've been stored.
I believe they're in your basement.
In my basement.
Yeah.
Next to all of Alicia's stuff.
And that was about 3 business plans ago.
3 business plans ago.
Yeah.
And then my husband was doing a construction project. So, we had some tools and all that. That went next to.
Right.
And he decided to close his storage unit because we've got this great big basement.
Might as well use it.
Yeah,
space.
So it went next to. Uh-huh. Now we have Sanford and Sons. I am so excited to tell you. It was. 4 truckloads of stuff left my house this weekend. I feel about 300 pounds lighter. I am so happy.
Well, happy is always good. And it sounds to me like you are just exercising one of the winning habits of successful people.
Am I?
Maybe.
Let's find out. We want to know what the most successful people are doing on a regular basis. They're not winging it. They're not going with the flow. How do I feel? Is the sun out? Is the sun not out? Do I want to? Do I not want to? No, they have daily habits. They are in tune. What was the phrase? We do what we want. So the goal isn't to change what you do. The goal is to change what you want.
Okay.
And so that when you do what you want. And so the successful people, they know exactly what they want, and then their habits and what they do lines up and matches with that.
Well, Marcel Schwantes, who is the principal and founder of Leadership from the Core, wrote an article at Inc.com on the winning habits you'll find in the most successful people this year. Adam Grant, Darren Pink, and Reid Hoffman share some useful workplace hacks. And the first one is develop your network intelligence.
Develop your network intelligence.
Right.
You have some intelligence. You have some network. Let's put those two together.
Right. So here's what he suggests. He says in his 2014 book, The Alliance, Managing Talent in a Networked Age, Hoffman, one of the most well-connected people in tech, emphasizes why networking is critical for success. We know that Jeffrey, your network is your net worth.
Keith
Ferrazzi. Sorry about that, Jeffrey, whoever you are. Keith Ferrazzi says your network is your net worth. And we believe that to be true because it doesn't matter. And don't take this in the wrong tone. I don't mean to sound controversial or argumentative here. Let me rephrase it then. Of less importance is what you know than who knows you.
Well, there are a lot of smart people in the world, and they're probably not all working at your company, or maybe not all involved in the same network group and association that you're involved in. They're outside your immediate core of people that you interact with on a daily basis. He says, here's what most people do when they're problem solving. They schedule a meeting with all the smart people at their company who might have great ideas.
Right.
He says that's a good first step, talking to people. He says, but the most valuable professional information is often in other people's heads.
That's right.
Even when you're just talking out ideas to other people, it's far more valuable than when you do it on your own. He says, great information and insight from the people you know can be a significant competitive advantage. That's network intelligence. And so you've got to extend outside of the people you normally have conversations with. We've got to swim in some different pools. You can't just associate with the same core group of people day in and day out and expect that the creativity is going to flow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The second point to Marcel Schwantes' article says, stop the fake schmoozing and stalking of important people when networking. And he says, do this instead. And he takes up and notice the difference here. He says, we've all heard that it's who you know that will open doors and take you far. He says, to a certain point. I agree with that. Adam Grant, the author of the mega bestseller Give and Take, wrote in the New York Times, that something of greater value will yield greater returns and enlarge your network, accomplishing great things that capture people's attention. Here's that. This is the shift in the language. Okay. He's saying who you know will open up doors to a point. I say who knows you, and it's what's going to get them to know, accomplishing great things that capture people's attention. I agree with the point.
Yeah, capture their attention with great things, not just with will you follow me? Can we be LinkedIn? They want results. So capture their attention by doing great things, adding value, putting change in your pocket, paying it forward. What can I do for you before I ask you to do something for me? The example he gives is with Sarah Blakely. She is the founder of Spanx.
Oh, yeah.
She actually ended up sending some of her first batch of Spanx. Remember, she used to sell fax machines.
Right.
And she sent them to Oprah. So caught her attention, doing great things. Didn't just say, hey, will you follow me? Go read my blog. Go check me out in my article. No, she sent her the sample, the prototype, and said, let me do great things for you.
Now, not only does Sarah Blakely know Oprah, that's who she knows, but Oprah knows Sarah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Such a shift in talking winning habits. That's the one. Get dialed into people knowing you rather than the other way around. Become an influencer by doing something significant.
Become an influencer. Do something significant. Offer great results.
Right.
Third successful winning habit of the most successful people is not to work harder, but actually the opposite.
Not to work smarter?
Take more breaks.
Take more breaks.
Yeah,
you better talk about this one.
Dan Pink's book, When, The Scientific Secrets of Perfect Timing. He says we need to take more breaks. How many of us work 12, 14, 16, 18 hours a day and we're so flippin' proud of it, right?
No, we're exhausted. We're exhausted. Let's call it what it is.
But we think that we've got to run circles around everybody else. We never take a break. We can't take a vacation. We can't take time off. We can't put our electronics away, our devices away, for the fear that we might miss out on a text message or an incoming phone call. But he says the improved mood throughout the day and reduced feelings of fatigue in the late afternoon.
And these are little 5-minute walking breaks. Just take a 5-minute break and get up and walk around. It calls them microbursts of activity.
You know, I did a microburst of activity today.
I did too.
I walked up the 6 flights of stairs in our office building.
Really?
And then I walked up the 6 flights of stairs in the studio. So 12 flights of stairs today. Woo-hoo.
Wow.
I'm exhausted already. I was huffing and puffing when I came in.
My microburst of activity looked nothing like that at all.
One of my goals is to wear my tennis shoes to the studio now more often. I haven't figured out what that means yet.
Okay.
But to get more bursts of activity in my day, because I think that sitting on my bum for 5 hours a day is not good for things.
When taking breaks, detach completely. No emails, text, nothing. Break. Microbursts of activity. Hey, gang, we're going to take a quick break now, and we'll give you some opportunity to practice your breaking as well. We'll be right back, though. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show. This is home of positive business talk. You want more information on how to become that influencer? ExperiencePros.com.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive business talk.